Hey guys. Okay. Hey guys, Dawn Schaefer here. Welcome. If you're new here, my name's Dawn Schaefer. I am the owner or shepherdess of Lazy O Ranch. We live in central Pennsylvania, in the mountains of central Pennsylvania, and we raise Coopworth sheep. We have a small farmette of around 12 sheep, 2 rams, and 10 ewes. Subscribe down below to any more if you like what you see in here. Like the video. In today's video, I want to talk to you about this new practice that I started implementing in my little farm. So for the summer, my ewes go to their summer home, and it's about 6 miles away, and it's beautiful. They have 11 acres of rotational grazing. The grass is always lush, just a beautiful area. The breeze is always blowing, just top notch, like 5-star summer home where you'd even want to go if you were a sheep. And it's about, like I said, 6 miles away. And so when we go over, would go over every day just to make sure the waters are done, check on the lambs and the ewes to make sure that they're doing well, nobody's sick or anything like that, clip their hooves, check on their wool, just regular maintenance. And then we'd also clean out the barn. We'd scrape it out every day, put lime on the floor to absorb any moisture, bed it back down, and that was the routine every day for 45 minutes. Longer, because I would get in my car, drive, do all this stuff, and get back in the car and drive back. So it just took a lot out of my day. And trying to position it, because the way I like to work my days in the morning, I like to relax with a cup of coffee and read a little bit of something, talk to the kids and the husband before he goes to work, and talk to the kids if they are awake, which through the summer they're really not. They're still sleeping in. But if they're up, I love talking to them. So it's like, okay, when would be the best time? Because after coffee, I enjoyed starting to get my stuff done around the house. And that would be gardening, cleaning out my own barn, cleaning my house. I'd want to plan the day with the kids to go to the library or to the lake for swimming. If we needed to do yard work here, anything that needed to be done. I like to get my day started with my things. And then eventually I'd have to figure out a time to break it off, drive, do barn maintenance, and drive back. And it was you do it every day. So every day I knew that I had this planned, and I couldn't escape it because, of course, I have to take care of my sheep and make sure everything's okay. So it was, the thought of it was getting daunting, and I was getting, major burnout. I didn't want to do it anymore. It's like, oh my gosh, where's the relief? And so, in my little moment of complaining, I came up with a strategy. And that strategy was no matter what, I had to do it. So that was already within me. Okay, I have to do that. But what part of it didn't I like? It is hard to break off when I'm focused on something. So I knew I didn't like breaking off of something I'm really focused on, and I knew that I didn't enjoy the amount of time that it took me to implement everything and make sure everything's tidy. I mean, to clean out the barn every day for half an hour, it just, I don't know, it just seemed very inefficient to me, and that there had to be a quicker way to get everything done. I mean, this was every day, and they had free roam of whatever pasture they had to be in for the rotational grazing set. So why are they in the stall defecating as much as they are is beyond me. I'd personally like to shut the stall and keep them out, but then it requires more maintenance for me because I'd have to drive down during high noon. It just was easier to let them have free rein to go wherever they needed to be. And so, in my way of extracting these issues and trying to come up with a solution, I figured, okay, I needed it to happen in a smaller duration of time, meaning maintenance. And the other thing was that I really had to do time slots. Time slots for everything. Okay, first I'll go over the time slots. I started blocking off my time like it was school, like high school, or even when you go to college, you have a certain amount of time for this, certain amount of time for that, and you stuck to that. So no matter what, you couldn't go overtime because the professor did not want to stay there much more than necessary, and you didn't want to go. You couldn't leave earlier than the class, so you had these time blocks. So I started implementing time blocks in my morning. I still couldn't break away from the morning. The only way I would break away from my morning and achieve cleaning the barn earlier is if I went to the gym. That was the only time I did it because I was down off the mountain and I didn't want to waste any more gas than I had to, so I made a loop from the gym around to the barn, and it worked out well. So we got to have that established, time blocks. And with each time block, I knew that I had, 5-10 more minutes left, and so I started kind of tidying up what I was doing, and then I'd move on to the next project. And then 5-10 minutes before the time end, I would start tidying up and make sure everything was okay, and if I had to continue, I would continue it on for tomorrow. It just made it easier. And then when it came to the cleaning aspect, I made sure I reduced everything down to 15 to 20 minutes, that I could get the waters done, the cleaning done, the bedding down with the lime and the hay, check on all my animals and make sure everything was okay with them. So I reduced it to 15 minutes. The drive was about 15 minutes there. The drive home was about 10 minutes. So that really worked out well. And it actually eased my mind knowing that I could insert this like its own special time block, and I could be home. And maybe I'll chill out for a little while before I start my next project, or maybe that was the end of the day, or maybe that's when the kids and I would plan to go to the library or the lake, or do something fun, Dunkin' Donuts or something, so we're not in this same routine over and over. That doesn't make it fun, especially for summer vacation. So that's what I started doing. And I'm thinking, well, why am I doing this great 15-minute cleaning session at their summer home, and I need to start implementing it here in my own barn? 15 minutes for cleaning, quick cleaning, keeps everything just fast-paced, and you're not bogged down and overwhelmed with the amount of work that you have to do. And so that is my next strategy for here, right in my own barn, where I have a tendency to get more relaxed, and it's like, oh, I can tend to it tomorrow. But no, 15 minutes 15 minutes. You can't go wrong with 15 minutes. So that is the next project for me. 15 minutes to be cleaning out my own barn. And that's what I'm gearing up for. I am going to organize my own barn for 15-minute cleaning sessions pretty much every day, just to ease in, ease out. Barn's clean, everybody's happy. Instead of me saying, oh my gosh, somebody wants to visit the barn. Holy cow, I've got like 12 hours of work ahead of me. No, 15-minute session and it's done and over with. So that's what I'm sharing with you today. And let us take a tour of the barn, and I am showing you, you know, oh my gosh, I'm exposing you to what is going on down there and the stuff that I need to get into place. So hopefully with whatever I'm doing with the barn and showing you how I'm implementing and organizing, it should help you out in your own home, because once my barn is done, trust me, every room in this house is going to take 15 minutes or less to clean. So if I know somebody is coming over for a quick drop-in, 15 minutes and it's clean. 15 minutes, and maybe 15 minutes for the whole entire house and it's clean. I mean, they're not going to go into bedrooms or certain areas. So 15 minutes and the kitchen should be done, bathroom should be cleaned, in the living room, the main area. So I'm excited to go on this journey with you, and let's take a peek at that barn. Started developing this addiction on YouTube videos where women do some really creative organizational things in their house. And I've started to implement some of their ideas into my own home, but I figured how great would it be if I started doing it to my barn. Simplify my barn and make it nice and organized and easy to maintain so I can focus all of my energy on my animals. But look at this. Here's one of the hens. There you go. But here are my girls, and we were born yesterday. This is Ireland right here with her 2 babies. Oh, they are so cute. But here they are. Gracie is pregnant still, and same with, this is Eunice right here. And this is Gracie. She's getting so big that she actually has to rock herself up when she wants to get up. This is Esmeralda and her boy, which he is black as coal. But here she is with her baby. And she's a first-time mother and doing great. And here's Inga with her 2 girls. I think I want to supplement these girls a little bit. But she's an older mama. So this is the first stall. I'm going to give you a tour of the barn to show you exactly what I need to conquer to make it work and be more organized. So that is the first stall. Here's the first stall. This is where I kept my pregnant girls. And so this is the second stall right here. I've got a ton of cobweb to take off right here. And this is one of the shelf units that I want to clean up, get more organized so I can prepare for, like, have like an emergency kit to be prepared here and make sure the sun or it can't get overheated or anything that would denature or deem the emergency stuff unusable. This I am going to clean up, get these cobwebs off, clean this up, and start using this. This is a great calendar for me to keep track of what I need to do in the barn and when I want things done. And this is goes back to King Tut and Daphne, who were our foundational herd. Adam, also, we sold him probably 4 or 5 years ago. So this calendar is way outdated. And then I'm gonna get the windows cleaned. And those hanging things, cobweb, right there. And so this is the aisleway. I'm coming around. This is where one of the chickens like to lay their eggs, which I will get later. I actually want to do something in this area so we can keep egg production there, because normally I have to go out and search for them. This is the aisleway. This is where we keep the pellets right here. I don't like the top, obviously, and the kids never put it back on, so I want to find something where they immediately replace it. This is the aisleway, which is dirty. We've utilized this part pretty good, but I feel we could clean it up. There's some space up there that I don't know what to do with, but it's a cool shelf. It's actually great. And then right above here is another storage area. This is what happens. This is another area I want to get cleaned up. See, we live on a mountainside, and we've had so much rain that it washed everything down. And as you can see, this rock doesn't belong here, and there's a lot of it. This is where I shear for the horse feed right here. I got to shear a couple of my ewes. I put the ear tags on my lambs. My son was using this to cut the baler twine for the hay because we could not find a cutting device. We have plenty of space to hang tools up there, but as you can see, tools are on the floor. There's a broom over there, which should be up there. My hay is dwindling down. This I use for bedding, so none of the hay goes to waste. I've got to clean my sheep coats and then put them back on the ewes. These buckets need put away. I use this hollow core door as part of them to, once they lamb, the ewes get put into their own separate store. That was the first portion over there. So this is the rest of the barn that I will be doing. This is where we kept more hay through the years. So I'm going to take my leaf blower and blow it out. Here's another door that we use as a stall. There's some boards that we use as to make separate stall areas. So I'm going to get this all cleaned up and out, put that plastic away. There's a barrel. Yes, it has a golf ball in it, but when there are eggs in there, if there is an egg eater, they hopefully will try the golf ball and then get deterred because nothing's happening. Look at this. My kids left me some metallic spray paint. I haven't a clue what they were doing, but there's more wood I want to deal with. That I'm not quite sure, but this is my tack room. We've got our saddles right there, some stuff. We've got really pretty windows that my husband brought home from a job that he did. We've got that I want to take care of, put it in its proper spot. Got another window right here that the wood swells on it so it doesn't shut properly. So that needs to be taken care of. And then I've got some bee stuff. Yeah, I actually tried getting into bees. I'm going to attempt it again, but bees kind of freak me out a little bit. And I'm planning on getting back into bees. What had happened is that we bought a couple nooks, and they are a bit pricey. And we started them up. You buy them in the spring, and that is when bears come out of hibernation and are extremely hungry. So we had them buzzing around doing their thing up on the mountainside, and sure enough, the the area that we kept the hives in, the bear still got up and over the wall and annihilated both of our nooks. So I have not gotten back into that yet, but I plan to. I do plan to. So right here for my hives. And then, you know, helmets, very important when you're riding. That's what you want to do. Wear your helmet, and then all this other stuff. I did have it organized all last year, but as you can see, it's atrocious. This houses all my medical supplies, but I'd prefer that they were in the stall, or not the stall, but the shelf unit in the stall. But I have to clean everything out. This I actually got. This is really neat. It's a Napa. Whoop. Napa bin. And found it on the side of the road, and it came home with me. And this I want to simplify and clean up. My hydrolyzed limes is what I am going to organize. I'm going to organize and document. My hand is in the way, and document for you exactly what I use for my barn and how I'm going to make things efficient. So especially, you don't have to own sheep. You could own even chickens and other things that you want to keep organized, because any animal that you do, I've noticed, like just any animal that you do, when you come across the problem, there are, you know, just a system to be able to deal with problems is a great thing. So even if you don't do problems, you could, like right now, I have a system in place for when my girls lamb, and we had 3 new lambs born yesterday, and we implemented the system and made sure we had gotten all of the information. There is an issue with one of the ewes that gave birth yesterday that I'm having to look into, because I've never dealt with it before, and she has mastitis of all things. So I'm having to deal with that. I gave her a vitamin B shot, certain things like that I know would help her out. In the book it said penicillin. I don't have it, so I have to run down off the mountain today and get some penicillin for the poor girl. And I'm also going to call the vet to see what steps I am missing and what else I need to do, supplements, something like that, just to make sure she's okay, because she's a beautiful girl and I don't want anything happening to her. You are definitely a trooper if you made it to the end of that messy barn tour, but thanks so much for being here. That wraps it up. I will be starting the journey on cleaning up the barn. As you can see, the initial cleaning is not going to be 15 minutes for each segment that you saw, but it will be leading up to being able to only have to clean each segment for 15 minutes. So I'm excited to show you and share with you how I manage, or actually manage to tackle this concept, and I will see you in the next video.